Hello, welcome to a new video of this, the Nr1 Design YouTube channel. My name is Veldboom, and please excuse me for wearing the hoodie, but my hair is kind of looking like this after a couple of months of quarantine, so I'm gonna keep it on for right now. But I just wanted to give a real quick update on everything that I've been doing, that I've been working on, because I haven't posted anything in the last like 3 weeks or something. So I kind of wanted to like update everybody and everything. So in the same period, I also gained a couple of new subscribers, so I want to thank everybody for joining this channel. I think I need like another 100 subscribers or something to actually be able to monetize these videos. So if those people would be able to join, that would be very appreciative. Really appreciate it, I should say. And without getting into it like way more than that, let's hop into the car and where we're at right now. And at the end of the video, I'll also give a little bit of a description of what I've been doing in the past 3 weeks and all of that. So the car right now is basically finished when it comes to creating body panels. So all of the panels are now separated, and there were a couple of errors and stuff with the monocoque, and a couple of things I had to remake, and some things went wrong, but that is SolidWorks, I guess. So that is but it's a little bit frustrating to go through the designing stages and also having to repair a lot of the stuff that I already done. So I kind of decided not to share all of that on video. But in the same time, and have been able to actually make like the hinges for the doors, and because of an error that happened, I can't really showcase it right now because I think this would kind of mess it up, but I still need to adjust a couple of things. But I could fix this, and then I think everything should stay in place, so I could still move that door. Yeah, there we go. And hopefully it still has, there we go. So that is basically what I've been doing, trying to create like the panel separations and everything to have the proper panel gaps and all of that. So I still need to add like a front window. So that is one of the things that I will be doing next. I don't know if I will put that on video too. And I need to enclose like the complete wheel spaces to make sure that all the water and things, debris of the outside doesn't get into the cabin, to make sure that it is airtight and that you don't have any type of water leakage or anything in the cabin. So after that is done, I also need to make the interior of the car still. So that will be like a very fun process that I will be playing with, because even though this car is like mechanical steering and everything, it will still have the ability to drive itself because it is a car that is being planned to be built in 2040. So I think that is something that we should definitely add in there. So that would be like a self-driving functionality, but that also means that there should be an option in the interior to kind of make some changes to make it go from like a steer-driven car to something that you might not even see a steering wheel. So I'm trying to figure out like a way to incorporate all of that in there. Also, what I try to do is with that interior is to make it like some sort of like a limousine functionality, that there is a possibility for 4 people to be in there, but also at the same time that you maybe be able to fold away the front seats and then it becomes like a bed or something for people to like be driven around, as something like that. So that is what I've planned for the interior, but I don't really want to give away too much and kind of showcase it while I'm making it. So that is another thing that I'm still planning on doing with the car. And now that I also have the body panel separated, I can actually also start focusing on making the actual headlights, because what I've planned is that from this panel right here, I'm gonna make like a drop down section that can kind of come down as if it was like an old school 80s pop-up headlight, but then like a mono version of it. And then you would have like individual lighting elements that would have like laser beams and lenses and mirrors and cool stuff in there to kind of project light onto the road. And otherwise it will be folded away to kind of generate this tunnel effect, to have like a cleaner air separation layer, boundary layer, that will kind of help the airflow around the wheel, which will already kind of be minimized because the rotating section of the wheel doesn't really involve like a brake disc or spokes. And I can even make something to enclose this whole space because it is floating. Like I said, it won't really be rotating, and all of that. So that is kind of what I've been planning on to do with the car still. But after that, it's basically done. So then we would have like a aerodynamic crazy car that has 4 people in it, and you know, we'll be able to go fast as hell with these motors, but still be zero emissions and electric and all that. So that is kind of something that I'm planning on doing for now. So, now that you guys have seen like my progress with the card and where I'm at with that, I kind of wanted to take you guys through why I really haven't been posting for the last couple of weeks. So I've been basically looking at all of the opportunities and possibilities that I would have to basically translate my current talent that I have into different sources of income, basically. So through 3D printing, I could sell components, but also through my skill of 3D design, I could do like CGI work for like movies, or maybe design stuff that could be like in video games or things like that. Because one of the problems that I have that kind of prevents me from getting a job in design or in engineering or something like that is that I don't really have a degree in mechanical engineering or in product design. I'm basically like a little bit more self-taught. So I kind of gained all of my skills by learning through the internet and kind of seeing what people are doing and figuring out how I could make it myself. So that has always been like a little bit of a positive and a negative, because people kind of admire it when you don't really belong to the system, I guess, a little bit. But at the same time, that security of knowing that you will be able to really make sure that something would work is required in like engineering businesses and stuff like that. So that is kind of has been my dilemma. And I know like a very easy answer would be then get a degree or something, but some things just don't work out for certain people. Like it's a little bit yeah, I don't want to go into a big sob story, but it's not for everybody. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to still be able to maintain like my current like to keep my roof over my head, but at the same time still do what I enjoy and do what brings like, yeah, genuine joy to my life. So with all of this design stuff that I'm doing, I figured out basically that in the video game content generating like video content world, they don't really require a lot of degrees and stuff, because you don't really need to ensure that a car will be safe on the road because it is digital. So there aren't really like the same type of consequences that there would be if the car would actually be on the road. So I decided to step more into that world, and I really wanted to use this car as like a tool, as like a learning curve objective for something to kind of learn how to animate that car and how to put it into a video game and how to be able to like do like races with it or different stuff like that. That I kind of try to figure out what else is possible with all of this 3D design software that I could potentially benefit from. So that is kind of what I decided to do when this whole quarantine kicked off, and that was kind of plan of my projects and everything. But at a certain point, it kind of got enough notoriety that people started asking me to do a couple of things for them in SolidWorks and do like design work here and there. So I started to kind of take that path and started to like, because I still need to pay my bills and everything. So I kind of put the project a little bit to the side and started doing like other things for people. And usually those people don't really want to kind of showcase, or want me to showcase what I'm doing for them. So it's hard to kind of base content around other people's projects. So yeah, that is kind of what that is kind of what I've been doing. So in the process of me not being able to really get on the project and um make videos for it and everything, I have been doing a lot of research into either game design development or like video content. So the projects and the software that I've been looking at that would kind of allow me to transform all of this into like dope videos to make, or maybe even like video games in a later stage, is Cinema 4D. So in Cinema 4D, you can basically take all of these type of files and connect them together again, and make them into driving cars and have them simulated to be on the road a certain way, is things like that. So I've been figuring out how to use Cinema 4D and learning, like been watching webinars after webinars, some people what they did, also like short films, and I'm rewatching movies that I already saw to see like the camera angles that it took or the color palettes in certain scenes that I like, to kind of figure out like what it would mean to kind of all the kind of details that I would want, that I like in other people's work, that I want to incorporate back into mine. So I've been studying that a lot and not making a bunch of stuff. So that has kind of been my process. I've even been looking like Call of Duty like gameplay, or everything that's to do with like digital design, that or the making of the Lion King, like things like that, like that I could everything that I could just learn and incorporate back into my own projects, because I have a lot of different things in mind that I could be doing with a 2040 design project. The other thing that I've been working on, or been contemplating, I should say, is to kind of design my own island. And what I mean by island is kind of make like GTA, for instance. Like they have their one big mountain, and they have like a city compartment, and then they have on the north they have like um like the Wild West kind of, or like the Walter Reed kind of world, I guess. um but that is kind of what I wanted to make. I wanted to make my own island, like my own map, and I want to make different zones and different sections on that island to be able to have different environments where I can shoot different scenes, or have like different racetracks and different environments, or have like different levels of video games take place in a different section. So if I want to but that kind of also, it kind of makes it mandatory for me to design a whole city, and to design power plants, and to design subway stations, like public transport things, like all of that. So that is kind of what I'm working towards, and what I'm getting at, and kind of the thing that I want to realize, because that would be tremendous video content to showcase how I design these individual things, like mansions and everything. And at the same time, it would also end up with like having a map for like a video game or whatever. Like, so that would kind of open up like a big realm of opportunity for all of that to kind of take place in that map. So yeah, that is kind of the major lines and everything that I want to do. But at the same time, I'm also kind of working on things to 3D print, because I've been doing, like with a lot of other people's projects, I've been doing a lot of things with 3D printing and figuring out like like what could I show that wouldn't be like me telling on myself or something. Let's see. So for instance, this is like one of the things that I'm working on. This is a hinge, but like of course with like a wood stick attached to it. But this hinge was 3D printed, so I don't know how clear that is, or if you can maybe see like a little bit of the ridges and everything. But it was 3D printed in one piece, but this whole hinge mechanism is like loose from one another. So this would kind of eliminate the usage of after of manual labor after the fact, I should say, because I no longer have to like drill a hole in here. I no longer have to like apply a screw to make it a hinge effect or something. This is just 3D printed in one go, and it is probably even stronger because there isn't like an opportunity for this to become undone. The only thing is that the only way to get it undone is to break it. So it is it still has like its kinks. It's not as like subtle. So I'm doing a little bit of experimenting on what the proper like distance and spacing between all of this should be to kind of get it as rigid as possible. So I also have multiple others like laying around where it is like way looser to kind of get to this mechanism and everything. But it's pretty good. You can hear like an occasional scratch here and there. But so this is like also things that I'm developing to kind of see like what could be done with 3D printing that couldn't be done otherwise. So that is very cool to me. Like that is also something. So those are just kind of random side projects that I'm also kind of doing with 3D printing and all of that. So yeah. So that's also kind of what I wanted to ask from the audience. Like, is there anything I could do with my content, or with the things that I design, or that I could 3D print, that would be able to kind of make it worth it for you guys to either like make a donation, or to have like a subscription to my channel or something, and that you would be able to like every month get like something 3D printed, like just those type of ideas. Like, would that be worth it to you guys? So I'm kind of still working on like making a Patreon page, and trying to figure out what type of content and what type of objects and things that I would be able to have on there to maybe even sell to you guys, or have like a subscription based thing that you have access to the files, even that you could modify them yourself and maybe send them to me, like something like that, that you would maybe be able to have like a contribution to the design process of the island, or something, that you could take certain sections and design things for it. Like, would you guys be interested in having access to the things that I make, and would it be worth it for you guys to pay like a little bit for it? So, and what would that price be? Like, I'm flexible to kind of work with, and I'm trying to figure out like what would be like a good way for me guys to entertain you guys, and to also like get paid for it, but also give you value back for it. So I'm trying to kind of work with you to see what the answer would to that would be. I have a lot of ideas and things that I'm working on that might work, but I'm trying to figure out like if the math would add up also like a little bit in my favor for sure. So um yeah, I'm trying to be as honest as possible about everything that I'm doing. I think that is a good way to kind of finish that video. So again, the car will be finished. I don't know when. I still need to work on a couple of other projects for people, but I'm working on getting that done. And as soon as the car is done, and I don't really need to do a lot for it. I think it's only like the interior and the lights and everything left. And then I will start animating a bunch of stuff. So then my content may switch a little bit. That I can also like add content from Cinema 4D, but I also trying to incorporate like CGI into it, that I could do motion tracking and make videos where it appears where the car is actually driving on the road here in real life, where I'm outside like video filming stuff. That might be a little bit hard to do. I feel like I got corona, to be honest with you, but I don't know. I don't really feel like going outside right now. It is I'm having fun in here though, so not to worry. But I don't know. I don't feel too well. Maybe you can hear it in my voice a little bit. But yeah, that is kind of my final question that I want to kind of leave you guys with, is if I would start a Patreon account, would that be something you would be interested in contributing to, or you know, that is just kind of basically it. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like or subscribe to this YouTube channel. I think I need like 100 more subscribers to be able to also monetize from this content. And yeah, thanks for watching. As I said, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in a future episode. Bye.